Alright, what is going on, guys? SpitefulHopes is back again, coming at you with the news, and we will be going over the new guild quest as it stands right now. So shout out to the boy Soldex for getting us all this information. Just a quick plug to my boys bbs-simulator.com. Make sure to Google BBS space simulator. Let's get this boy more clicks on the Google algorithm. That way it helps him out. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. I'll just break it down for y'all. Alright, so here we are with the news. I'm just going to read it all in completion, and then we're going to break it down and make inferences, etc. and etc. So, to start with, all bosses have 80% weakened resistance or duration, and then we can look at how the boss's stats have changed, because this is where things get a bit funky. Here's the boss's stats for standard guild quest, and you'll see it's just the standard guild quest, no defense, 10 million HP for boss 5. And when you go into Enhanced, you'll see that they've not only given them a lot of defense, but they've given them a lot of more HP on the bottom line of the bosses. You have 2.5 mil on boss 1, which is combining the HP of boss 1 and 2 of the standard guild quest. It looks like they're going to be calling it Enhanced as well. And going into the first rules. You'll see here's the new rules for the first week. A spotted killer damage times 3, special attack damage times 0.5, melee damage times 2, range damage times 2, weaken map. By itself, these aren't that bad. Basically just nerfing special moves relative to normal attack and special attacks, and strong attacks, excuse me, so that you can't nuke an entire guild quest at once. Seems like a pretty reasonable and expected change. Now this is where stuff gets a little wonky, because I do want to discuss just like max transcended units in a nutshell, etc, etc. So first and foremost, as of right now, we can do sub 5-second runs as long as you work. Sorry, I like showered, but you can do sub like 2-second runs if you have like a max transcended unit with weakening on a special move. Characters like Tag Team Izuru, Hikone, not Tokinata, but like 5th anniversary Ichigos as well. And then you also have the bombardment units with Ichigo and 5th anniversary Byakuya, Dad Ichigo, right? And then those characters, I don't think they can do sub 1-second runs like weakened units can, but like either way, they do help quite a lot. But you'll see here that they're going to immediately start with all bosses have 80% weakened resistance, and this is going to translate to the standard guild quest. So no longer will you be able to do your sub 5-second runs, assuming that they follow these principles on their rules when it comes to the special attack damage is now halved. So even if you use Attention tie, it's going to be as if you're not using Attention tie in terms of damage scaling. But obviously if you don't use Attention tie, you're getting your special move halved anyways. So I don't really think that we're going to be seeing any sub 2-second runs anymore. Maybe if characters get super crazy, maybe they come out with like a bombardment weaken unit. But even then, I don't really like the idea of that. You'll see here that for the enhanced guild quest, you have 2.5 million. So going into it, the total HP of all the bosses is going to be 28.7 versus the original 18.7. That's how much HP they have. However, you'll see here that the defense is up quite a lot. Like straight up, the boss 5 defense is actually 3,600, which is honestly, that's like head captain Chad levels of defense, bro. So that's in million. My overall thoughts are, it makes sense. Like obviously K-Lab doesn't want you to like just blast through guild quests to the point where as soon as you start doing sub 5-second runs, I feel like guild quests has gotten kind of boring for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like not having to do guild quests for very long. Literally, I get one sub 5-second run if I can, and then I just get whatever score for the second and third run. And even then, sometimes I'll get like sub. Well, I got my first sub 2 yesterday. Wait, 2 days ago. Pretty happy about that. But like sub 3 and sub 4, like it's not really too crazy to see sub 5-second runs now in comparison to like when Guild Quest first came out, when Transcendence was like still very not necessarily like so limited that you couldn't get a max transcend unit, but it was very limited that you had to spread across and figure out who you actually wanted to transcend. And even though they are still throttling us from getting large scrolls and small scrolls and medium scrolls, like over time you're gonna eventually naturally be able to max transcend whoever you want. It's just a matter of time, as opposed to like, oh, will I be able to get enough scrolls or this and that. My issue with this, honestly, is I'm a little concerned with the free-to-play players, which like, oh yeah, Spite, why would you care? You spend so much money on the that doesn't mean that I want like the free-to-play players to not want to play the game. Like bruh, that's like literally like 95% of the audience for the most part, right? So you have the standard guild quest is still going to be the same. If you were clearing in like 30 to 60 seconds, you're probably still going to be able to clear in that same amount of time. Unfortunately, the thing that my big criticism is that the first week that they're putting in these new rules is going to be for a spot a week, which a spot a week, for those that, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I personally hate a spot a week. I think a spot a week is probably the worst. We do have some half decent captain killers, but like a spot a week, even knowing that I have like Nanao and Apache, I still hate a spot a week with a burning passion in my loins. Like, and then you have the weaken map, which that means that they're going to be adding weakening like stuff to it. Let me see if I can do this. Perfect. A spot killer times 3. Special attack damage is going to be halved. I'm fine with the special attack damage being halved. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm. Don't get me wrong, as much as I would like to do like 1 second runs on a daily basis or whatever, but like I'd rather it's balancing. You feel me? It's balancing the game. I get it. One thing though is I'm interested to see if this is the rules that are going to be set in place for the standard guild quest, or if this is just going to be the rules for the enhanced guild quest alone. Because they did say that they're not going to make content harder, but like adding a rule that halves your special move damage, in my opinion, that's making it harder. You're literally effectively nerfing the characters, and like, they've buffed Inheritance Zone. Those enemies deal so much more damage nowadays in comparison to back in the day. For my guild, we come to the understanding that if this guild quest is really annoying to the point where we have to do resets in order to like score even half decently well, then we're probably gonna go casual again, like completely casual, and just like stay in A League. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Like, the thing is, like, 3,600 defense is a lot. The 3,600 defense as well as 3,000 defense and 2,000 defense. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this kind of nullifies the use of NAD characters for the most part, because the enemies have so much. The attack is up by 40%. Whether or not that's gonna translate into 40% damage, I don't know. But either way, 40% more attack means that your NAD characters aren't really going to be safe. Before, you would be able to like cheese out and use your SP based characters to try to get like sub 10-second runs, and hopefully you don't take any damage. But with this, like, your NAD characters are definitely going to die. Like, the amount of times that my Chojiro died was so frustrating during Captain Killers week that, like, I'm not going to lie, Enhanced Guild Quest sounds like it's going to be super toxic. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. I want to see how this pans out. I'd also love to see how much, how many points you get. Because if you clear, like, say for example, say you clear 3 bosses and you get the same amount of points as you do for the standard guild quest, I feel like that would be, like, relatively balanced out. And then you have, like, an actual challenge for the whales to, like, try to whale out for, like, to complete, like, boss 4 and 5. I'm interested to see how, like I said, I'm interested to see how stuff pans out. Obviously, we don't have gameplay, and I really do think that as soon as we do get gameplay for it, it's still going to be an unrealistic expectation of what we expect most people to do, because a spotted killer, like, it's times 3 damage instead of times 5. So characters like the bombardment characters and weaken characters. One thing to note is 80% weaken resistance is the duration of weaken, so your weaken is only going to last 2 seconds instead of 10, assuming that your character has debilitator plus 5 seconds on it. So that's another thing that's kind of interesting. I expected them to nerf weaken. I didn't think they would nerf special move damage, I suppose. Yeah, I'm going to be definitely interested to see if, like, my guild wants to go casual after this, or if they want to actually, like, still try hard. Personally, I've been wanting to go casual for a while. I've been bored as fuck. So, like, we'll see how stuff lines up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Obviously, we won't have proper damage stuff. Like, if they still had 0 defense, we can make a valid assessment of how hard the guild quest is going to be. But with just a massive amount of defense, with more HP on the bosses, I'm kind of weird, because that'd be interesting if, like, the first boss is as hard as boss 5, You know, like 1,000 defense is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of freaking defense. That's literally more. That's like gold chappy. Yeah. That's literally gold chappy with like defense rolls for the most part on a max transcended unit. No, maybe not a max transcended unit. I guess a gold chappy on a max transcended unit. That ain't too bad. But like, I don't know how that's gonna translate versus 0 defense. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Obviously, don't start an uproar. Like we like I said, until we can actually play the guild quest, I don't think that we can really make an effective use of the stuff. I did, however, go into the builder and make a max transcended. Oh, hold on. I can actually click back real quick and go back and change this to 10. Okay. So when you go into this Grimjaw, for example, and you click evaluate, you'll see that you get 50,766 for his first strong. Let's see, let me zoom in. 50,766 with his first strong attack damage. This is a max transcended Grimjaw, assuming he's the main slotted unit. When I did the math, I hope I have it here in the history. 28,044. So we're gonna do 50,766 divided by 28,044. You'll see that a max transcended Grimjaw has 81% more damage than a regular 1 of 5 Grimjaw with SP level 10 with the same gear on. And that's kind of relevant because you'll see here that if you're a whale and you're like have 5/5 units with SP 500 with the best rolls, with the best gear, you're gonna be out damaging the literal hell out of like a normal free-to-play player who just happens to get a 1 of 5 unit, 2 of 5 unit, etc. You're just gonna overlap them in damage. So like I said, this is becoming definitely more whale oriented. So for those that are like free-to-play and a little demotivated, remember that I will say, so just remember that even just clearing the guild quest, the rewards are still better than the last guild quest. I wouldn't really advise trying to compete with whales because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, imagine it's like I'm gonna outrun this car that's going 70 miles an hour. Like you're just not. It's not worth it, and it's not worth the headache and the mental strain. At the end of the day, this is a mobile game. Just try to have fun with it. I don't really want people quitting just because of like guild quest either. It was really disheartening seeing a lot of my friends go with the last guild quest that we had. So I really hope that this doesn't really put on too much of a strain. I'm hoping that like clearing standard guild quests is still going to be enough for most people to stay in A League as well. But I mean, I guess I will leave it at that. Those are my just overall thoughts when it comes to guild quests just as a whole. But I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys grind, I'll catch up with me. Stay blessed. I wish you all the best luck in your summons. Let me know in the comments below. For real, I'm really interested. I'll be reading all my comments on this to see how people feel about this. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Stay blessed, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.